Hello everyone. So here we are again with a new video, that is file handling in Python. In my previous two videos also we have done file handling. I introduced you with file handling with the text files in the file handling in Python part 1. And the second video was data file handling part 2, in which we discussed about the binary files. In the first video only, I have discussed and I told you that there are three types of files in which we handle with the Python. Those are the text files, binary files, and CSV files. So now in this video, we will be handling the CSV files. So this is data file handling in Python part 3. First part was about the text files, part 2 was about the binary files, and this is part 3 about the CSV files. So what are CSV files? CSV, that is comma separated values. This is a simple flat file in a human readable format, which is extensively used to store tabular data in a spreadsheet or a database. To put it in crux, I must tell you that CSV are actually the flat files which we can read, and as we cannot read the binary files, but we can read the CSV files, and you will see that how we will connect our Python with the CSV, that is the Excel files. So for that, first of all, let us see that why do we need the CSV files? So what are the advantages? The main advantages of CSV files are that CSV is faster to handle. CSV is smaller in size. It is easy to generate and import onto a database or a spreadsheet. And it is human readable and easy to edit manually. However, there are some more advantages, but these are the main advantages which we deal with the CSV files. So now as we are dealing with this, so let us see that how we will go about it. So to work with the CSV files, you can see here, this is an Excel file which I have created. I have not saved it yet. So in this, I have created 3 columns. One is name, class, and marks. You can put any values. I have put some random values over here. And now when we will save this, then we will save it in a CSV format. Just see, go to File, click on Save As, decide the document or the folder in which you want to save. So here it is, and I will give it the name as student. And in save as type, we will see here CSV comma delimited, and we will click on save. So this is how we have saved it. So we have saved this Excel file with the extension .csv. Now let us see that how to read this file in Python. So here we have our shell, and let us go to the script mode. And here we will open the file, that is student.csv, in the read mode. To work with the CSV files, we import CSV as we used to import pickle module in binary files. And here we import the CSV module. Now, F equals to open, and the name of our file is student.csv, and we will open it in the read format. Now we will take any variable, and we need to read the CSV file just like in the binary file. We used to read it with the load function. We used pickle.load in binary files, and here we will use the name of the module dot. Since we have to read, so we will use a function reader, and we will put the file object, that is F. Now all the records of student.csv must have been read and they are in the variable C now. So we will use the for loop to read every record in C and let us print every record. This is like how we will print the record. And finally, we will close the file. Let us see how it runs. So you can see here that here everything has come, and you must have noticed one thing, that the header row, you can see that the header row has come as the first name, class, marks, then Avyaktya 1298, Ashish 1287, and so on. And every record has come into a list format, in a list format. So you must notice this thing. So this is how we read the records of a CSV file and display it in Python. Now let us just make one simple change in our program, and I want to convert my program into that. I want to read the CSV file and display the number of records in the file. So for that also, we have to import CSV, we have to read the records. Since we have to count, so let us take one variable count and initialize it with 0. And as we are implementing the for loop, we will display. And here I will put count as the increment by 1. Here I do not need to print the record. I want to print the number of records. So here I will print number of records are count. Okay, so let us see that how it runs. The number of records are 10. So you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means that when you are adding the number of records, it has taken the header row also as one of the record. Now, if we do not want the header row to be counted, at last you can just do it as -1. So in this, here you can do count equals to count -1. Let us see. So now the number of records are 9. As we know that if we are adding the records, then adding the number of records, displaying it, then it will consider the header row also. So here, as we can see that all the records are coming with as a list. So if I do not want them to appear as a list and I want to print the records in the form of comma separated values, then I will make a slight change in my program. So here, let us remove this statement. Again, I have to print it. And here I will print comma dot join I. So what this will do, this will put a comma in between all the values and it will join it with the record, in between the elements of the record. So here we have imported CSV. We do not need the counter here. We will read the records and we will display the records by the comma operator only. Let us see. Count is not defined. Okay, we have not removed that statement. So this we do not want. This is how now all the records, all the rows are not in the form of list. They are in the form of comma separated values. This is how we read the rows from a spreadsheet. Now we will write a program to write some data into the file. So here is our script, and let us write a program to write some rows in a file student1.csv. So let us start doing that. So the first line will be importing the module, that is import CSV. And here, let us take the number of fields which I want. So let me take a variable fields. And here I will declare the header row that I want name and I want marks. That's it. Let us keep it short. And here rows, and here in the form of list, I have to define the rows. So there will be a list within a list. So the first name and marks. So give everything in the string type. The second record. Then give the marks. Then the third record. Again, give the marks. And let us close the list. Here, let us open the file. Open student1.csv. And here we are opening it in the write mode. Now we have to write. So again, we will take a variable. As for reading, we use the reader function. Here we will use the writer function. So here it will be the name of the module dot writer, and where we have to write, we have to write it in the F object, and by default the delimiter is comma, so whether you give or not. So this is the delimiter. So it will see that wherever the comma will come, it will separate that into the another record. So here it will be C dot write row function, and we will use the fields that is in which we have declared the headers. For I in rows. So here C dot right row I. And here let us write successfully created. So let us understand the question first, that how we have done it. We have imported the CSV module as we are working with the CSV file. In the fields variable, we have declared the headers, that is name and marks. In rows variable, we have given the records to be written. So these are the records and this is the header. Then we have opened the file student1.csv in the write mode. To write, we have used the writer function along with the module name. So this is the object which we have created. So this is the creating a CSV writer object. And we have specified F to be written. So whatever has been, we want to write, that we will write in the F. So here, according to this C.write row fields, why we have not taken this in for? Because the fields have to be written only once. So name and marks will be written only once. And after that, to write the data row wise, we have used the for loop. So this is for writing the data row wise, and this is to write the headers only once. And after that, we have printed successfully created. Now let us see how it will run. Let us save this. Okay, so it has come as successfully created. So if we want to see, then let us see. We can read the records also from student1.csv, and then we can see that whether the records have been written or not. So here, let us go to the destination. Student1 dot. So here is student1. So here we can see, and we will open this student1 file over here. And you can see here that the data has been written in the Excel file. What we didn't do earlier was that we didn't close the file. So we didn't write f.close. That was the reason that it was not displaying. So now you can see here that we have written f.close and we have read the file also, and the data has been displayed on the Python shell as well. So in this question, we can see that we have written the records by using the write row function. So as write row function is there, similarly, we have a function that is write rows. So what is the difference between the two? That write row will write it one by one, and write rows will write all the records in one go. So let us just change the name of the file here. So here it is student1. So let us make a new file, that is student2. So here I will just change the name. Let us add one more record over here. name, and give the marks. Okay. So now here again, the field we have specified, rows we have specified, we have opened the file, we have created the object with writer. After that, we have written the fields once, and I will just make a change over here and write here with the object only C dot write rows, and here we will write the variable which we have specified for the rows. So this variable we have specified over here. So according to write rows, all the records will be written in one go. So let us see whether it happens or not. So we will run the module. Okay, so it has printed successfully created. Let us see whether it has created or not. C drive, program files. We will go to Python, and here let us search for student 2. Okay. So we have opened it, and you can see that all the records have been written in one go. So if you will use write row, it will write the record one by one. And if you will use write rows, it will write all the records in one go. This is how we deal with the CSV files. So let us see the type of question which comes from CSV files in boards. You can see this question. This is from the CBSE sample paper. Vedansh is a Python programmer working in a school. For the annual sports event, he has created a CSV file named result.csv to store the results of the students in different sports events. The structure of the result.csv is student ID, student name, game name, and result. STID is student ID, ST name is student name, game name is the name of the game in which student is participating. Result is the result of the game whose value can be either won, lost, or tied. For efficiently maintaining the data of the event, Vedansh wants to write the following user-defined functions. One is accept to accept a record from the user and add it to the file, result.csv. The column headings should also be added on the top of the CSV file. And one more function, won count, to count the number of students who have won any event. As a Python expert, help him to complete the task. So let us first of all open the file result.csv in write mode, and let us accept the fields, that is student ID, student name, game name, result from the user, and then we will write the records into the file. Let us see that how we are going to do this. Okay, so first of all, import CSV. As we have to write the function accept, so we will write accept. And now let us take the input from the user. Int input, enter the student name. Then it was student, sorry, earlier it is student ID. Student ID. Here it is student name. So input, enter student name. Then it was game. Input, enter student game. and then it was result. Input, enter, result, won, lost, or tie. Okay, so here we will get all the fields from the user. After that, let us define the header row. In the header row, we want student ID. Then we want student name. After that, we want the game name. And then we want result. So these are the headers we want. Now the record, since we have taken it from the user only, so we will specify the same variable names which we have declared. That is SID, S name, game, and result. Now let us open the file result.csv in the write mode. Now let us create the writer object. C equals to csv dot writer f. Now first of all, let us write the headings, the header row. So for that, write row fields. Since we have only one record at a time, so we will use rows. And here we will close the file. Now let us just run this. Okay, so now it has run, and let us call the function to execute it. Enter the student ID S101. Okay, it is giving us int input, enter the student ID, invalid literal. Okay, we have to enter it in the integer only. Let us run it once again. So let us call, enter the student ID 101, student name Anant, student game tennis, won. Let us run this once again. Okay, so if I will run it once again, then it will overwrite it. So let us just open it in the append mode this time. Okay, let us call it once again. ID, name, Kirat, game, volleyball, won. We will run it just one more time. Let us call the function 103. You could have done it with like while true, and then it would have gone into a loop and would have entered more records in one go only. And here let us give lost. And okay, so this is how it is. And let us see in the file result.csv. So I want to see the file. So let us go to the destination, program files, Python, result.csv. So here you can see that the data has been written. So every time we were running it, so that is why the header row has come again and again.